Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the On Time, On Target Morning Brief. Got a great show for you this morning, a lot going on, and Tesla is in the news. So that's what we're going to talk about today is Tesla earnings, which they beat. That's 5 consecutive quarters that they've now beat earnings. So you know my take on the valuation of the stock, but you can't ignore the fact that everybody's behind this thing. Kramer was just on talking about how fantastic the company is. You know, I believe that Elon Musk is changing the world in several ways. So for our question of the day, it's going to be more of a focus on Elon Musk and exactly what he's doing out there. So we'll talk about a few of those things. All right, today's ticker is just Tesla. We're going to talk about that. We'll look at the valuation and whether or not you should be in the stock. For our day trading scorecard, down 2R this week. So again, 0 for 2 so far. We were up 4R last week, so you can see the numbers there. Going to look for a good trade today. I've got 3 longs in the chat window, a maybe short. I'll republish those here in a minute while the intro is playing. And again, you're catching us on replay if you're watching this on YouTube. But if you want to join us live, it's only $25 a month to come on in and join the rest of us. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, thanks. Welcome once again. Let me get the correct screen out to you here. All right, there it is for the morning brief. Make sure you have your window set up correctly. I did just put into the chat room there are 3 longs and maybe a short there for everybody. Also, make sure you're using the call sign. I see a couple new names in the room there, so looking good. All right, we're going to invest with Fighter Pilot Precision today. There is the standard disclaimer. And first of all, if you're catching us on replay, you don't see the Q&A, you don't see the chat window. That's how we're all communicating with each other. It's not just me talking. All right, standard disclaimer out there is this is a financial education briefing, and you should get me up on back here, and you should be able to, I don't know your personal financial situations. Everything I throw out this morning, you have to do your own due diligence before you go ahead and make your own investing. So there's our mission objectives for today. We're going to grow our money, protect our money, and live off our money. Tactical objectives, we're going to talk about Tesla earnings. Again, they beat earnings today, so that's 5 quarters in a row that they beat earnings. So pretty good. Remember, they got snubbed by the S&P 500. Stock took a hit. That proved to be an entry point again because the stock is now rocking higher. All right, we're going to talk about the other Elon Musk companies out there for our flow. We're going to go long, short, open, short, long, primarily talking about long-term investing stuff. First, if you have questions on that, go ahead and throw that in the Q&A or the chat, and we'll talk about that. 5 minutes to go. We're going to switch to day trading mode. I've got some things picked out for us. If you have anything else, throw it in the chat. We'll take a look at it real quick, and then we'll execute the market open, and we'll close with the question of the day, again, looking at Elon Musk and his other companies that are out there. For contingencies, those are standard. Contact me at the email below, and we will get you squared away. All right, let's take a look at ThinkPipes and do our market review. So you can see there that there's the S&P 500 over the past year. Excuse me, still allergies here in Texas. Looking off to that right, we're still hanging above that 320 to 340 line. So really pretty good. Again, I think, less than 2 weeks. What's that, 9 trading days, 8 maybe, depending. So I don't know. If we get stimulus passed, there's just no way that I don't think the market's going to fall as much as I thought it would. So we'll see. If it doesn't fall here, it may follow after the election. What we're going to do is we're going to wait, be patient, be disciplined. And once we know who the new president/administration is, then we're going to make our moves in early November. In early November. All right, focusing in on yesterday's action. Here we are with went all the way down last night, pretty, after market, and then bounced back up. So kind of an upward trajectory going into today. But again, no real hope in the headlines that stimulus gets passed. A chance, but no real hope. All right. And then here's yesterday's action. We screamed higher at the beginning. Every day is a good day, including yesterday. And then we repriced all that back in. And then in the afternoon, we're like, every day is a good day again. And then sold off back in. So here's a market. You've seen this twice now out of the past couple of days. Doesn't really know where it wants to go. All right, here's our day trading. If you want to set up again, we're going to talk LVS long, T long, and Tesla long. Probably not taking Tesla long. We'll take a look at KMB short, but we'll come back to that here in a minute. All right, let's take a look at CNBC. We're going to get the headline news of this morning after we go around the world. So, all right, there's your banner. Hadn't seen that. So, all right, advancing the nomination. So everything seems to be on schedule there. All right, here's our pre-market, down less than 0.25%. So that's pretty flat, all things considered. We did have a jobs number this morning, but we'll get that. That was favorable. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, EU down a little bit across the board. Asia mixed, nothing of note there. Here's our numbers from yesterday. So again, all over the map, a lot of big green numbers and then settled into the red for the day. Volatility up to 29. So again, I still think long vol going into the election is the place to be. All right. Bonds, 10-year again continues to creep up. It'd be nice to see that get over 1%. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but we'll see. Oil's holding 40 nicely. Gold and silver took a little bit of a breather today. So we shall see where those go going into the election. All right, let's refresh these for the headlines real quick. Department of Labor jobless numbers. All right, let's see. I don't see the raw numbers there. So 787,000 was the jobless claims, expecting 875,000. So pretty came in, favorable, if you will. So pretty good numbers there. We had a lot of earnings. We'll see some of those, of which Tesla is going to kind of take the day as we go into the open here. Coke beat earnings are up 3%. Tesla's around up 5% right now, but the overall market's down. So that tells you some big names are up, but the overall market's down. So there's probably, when you think of a, winners versus losers chart, you're going to be more losers than winners. So we'll see. All right. So sees the stock pop in 2021 on stimulus. Who knows if after the election, if we can all still talk to each other and we heal the wounds of an election, if you will, when that's going to happen. But I do think there is going to be stimulus eventually. There kind of has to be. For certain targeted areas. Again, not for everybody. I don't really see the need to mail out checks, but that's more of a pre-election thing, but we'll see. I don't know if they throw it in my mailbox, I'll cash it. I'm not gonna lie to you there. All right, let's see. Futures mix as Wall Street confronts a number of moving parts. That's called daily pricing in. Bitcoin, I need to circle back to Bitcoin again. If you didn't catch my one episode on the podcast, it's over an hour long, but it is with an expert out of Washington, D.C. We'll talk to you about Bitcoin and store of value. JP Morgan, I think it's JP Morgan, is coming out with a way to kind of trade in Bitcoin now and use it as a currency. So that would give it more normalization. Right now, the best thing I have for you on Bitcoin is I view it like a store of value, like gold is. It's an inflation hedge. And if you think everything's in the world is dropping like a rock, well, then that would be the place to be. So we'll see. I'm not in it personally. I don't have any yet. Again, we'll see. All right, let's see what else we have. Talked about Amy Coney Barrett's nomination going forward. Rubio chiming in. Okay. Doubling down on safety for the holiday season. That makes sense. That's not a good headline. Insider trading in Congress. How lawmakers get rich from the stock market. I will tell you this. This is a bunch of nonsense. And I will tell you, if you think these people know what they're invested in, they don't. A lot of them just completely turn over. I mean, if you're that busy enough, you're going to turn over your investments to somebody else. You're not doing your own investing. And who knows what your investor is actually in on. There's a huge fence there. So when they say somebody owns AT&T, blah, blah, it's no, I don't believe this at all. That they're using inside information to get rich. First of all, they're already pretty much rich across the board, and they're just going to buy and hold mostly while they're in the office, just hold what they have anyway. But that's and that's an inflammatory headline, in my opinion. Okay. Peloton got a downgrade. If you know, that stock's been on fire. We did talk about it not too long ago, citing the stock's valuation. Yeah, it can't keep up what it's doing. All right, let's transition over to some Elon Musk and Tesla related. So here is Tesla's chart. When have I liked Tesla? Well, I haven't liked Tesla in a long time, and I continue to not like it. If you own it, great. And we'll go through the chart here, and then we'll talk about it. Obviously, it had the split. What was it, 4 for 1 or 5 for 1? Both Apple and Tesla split around the same time. That brought it back into the affordable index of below $500 or so. But yeah, when you look at the numbers, here's their price to earnings ratio is right here. So again, sort of an eye magnet from it's good that they have earnings, right? Five quarters in a row, but still it's ridiculously for what you're paying per earning. These are change the world type numbers. I don't know if Kramer was talking favorably this morning, saying he had to get behind the stock. I don't know. I'm not. I love what they're doing. I do. I think it's inspiring everybody else in the world to get their act together and go all in on EV vehicles. Absolutely. I think it's going to be a game-changing thing, kind of like Saturn was when that company came out and brought the no hassle, car buying experience. But where's Saturn, right? So it can change the industry, but I don't know that it's got the staying power to actually do that, to be in business that long. But we shall see. He's having to cut his prices. That's never a good sign. Twice in 1 week. That's never a good sign. And people are starting to believe the numbers. But then again, he has gotten a ton, and he's moving into Texas too, and he got a ton of credits from the government to move in. So if you're kind of living off of a credit lifeline, if you will, that's just not the place you want to be. So I don't know. When you look at when you go over here, here's your short float. Obviously, those people are feeling the pain this morning. I have stuck my hand in this fire and received the appropriate burns from it in the real world. So I'm done doing that. But yeah, it's just, it's really, it's mind-boggling what they're saying this is worth. And here's your return. So yeah, performance. If you're in this year to date and you held it, Tesla, good for you. Everything is all is good in the cult, right? Until it isn't, and then you're either arrested or dead. But yeah, enough of my diatribe. If you want some Tesla shares, buy 5 shares, buy 10 shares, buy 1 share if that's your price point, buy a fractional share if you're just getting started. I don't care. If you want in it, get in it and close your eyes. Do not, if you buy it, don't sell that share. Take the ride. That's how you handle stocks like this. All right, let's switch over to our day trading stuff. We'll go over to what I have for you and Schwab. Let me go ahead and take me off of the screen so you can focus here. All right, here's our Tesla chart. That's the only one I have pulled up. So we'll switch right over to our day trades, of which Tesla is one. So it's up 5%. Let's go to the volume, see if it's on the volume ticker. There it is. So it's up 4% now. Again, I have this on the far right screen. It's my third favorite, and it's already fallen out of the 5% range. So we'll see. Out of AT&T, I like much better. It's also out of the 5% range, but just barely. But when you look at AT&T, and this will be our number 2, and then I'll get to our number 1 here in a second. This stock has been unbelievably punished. I mean, unbelievably punished. The dividend was over 10% yesterday. I don't know what it is after the pop as far as the yield. Missing by, you have a headline here, missing by a penny. That's pretty good for them. I mean, that's kind of like Super Bowl numbers for them. But it's like, how far can this stock fall? I mean, this stock was in the 40s and it goes nothing but down. So it sounds like they're going to keep the dividend. So good on them. Their payout ratio is well over 100%. So borrow money to pay the dividend. I mean, a lot of things not to like here, but from a bouncing perspective, it is gapping up because the news is no longer just terrible. So we'll take a look. It's got a decent price point to get in for a 20 to 25 cent kind of stop. So that's what we will put into our notes for the number 2. All right, the number 1 for the long LVS. Las Vegas Sands, and you're just like, Steve, you hate casinos, and I'm like, I do, but this is Macau. This isn't Vegas. You know, they have properties around the world. But, you know, the results were good for the earnings, positive inflections. So the stock bounces. So we're at 45 up to 49. It has the volume now off of earnings, and it's a good story. So it's super cheap on a valuation perspective. So if you think that the pandemic ends when we have an election, that's, you know, tongue in cheek. People have been saying that. Then yes, names like AT&T, names like LVS, even the airlines that are had a bunch of earnings out this morning. Well, they're not earning anything. You should call them losings. But you know, this stuff's out. That's where money's going to start to flow if you think this pandemic thing is about over. I'm not ready to throw in to say that that's the case yet, but we shall see. All right, our first long is the LVS, going to take about a 50-cent stop. So that's about a 1% move in the stock price for us to be able to get in there. All right, the shorts, Kimberly-Clark is about it. I don't really like shorting into such a household name like this, but you can see it over here on the right-hand portion of the screen. It's going to have the volume by the time we open. 91,000 is what it's showing on the left, so that's fine. You know, headlines is adjusted earnings. It has some, so it's hard to really find. You know, missed by a penny. Is, you know, and then you have, of course, the adjusted, which is GAAP nonsense or non-GAAP nonsense. So we shall see. I don't know. But it is setting up as far as our exact numbers. Chipotle's here as well. That's a high price point. It's almost impossible to short at $1,300 a share. You end up buying like 2 shares or 5 or something like that. So that's why I kind of left that off. Peloton, we're not going to get in front of Peloton short. Well, we might keep an eye on it off of the downgrade. So those 2 shorts we'll kind of switch to for KMB and Peloton. The only real thing you can say here is they did get downgraded, and you know, it's got room to fall. So we'll pull it up if it's into the 5% range. We may try to ride that down, but that is just a tough name to get behind. All right, so surfing around here a little bit, then we get everything set up. Nothing there. 7% Snap-on, not enough volume. There's our Las Vegas Sands at 5.57, so heart of the envelope for exactly what we're looking for. So that's why it's our number 1, if you will. All right, 90 seconds to go. One last look at this screen. Bright Cove, no volume. Candy Tech. Let's look at that. Candy and Corsair. Strategic cooperation. It's got the volume gapping up. Ooh, I kind of like this. We'll keep this on our screen. And it's a kind of a sexy headline, if you will. And then CRSR, Corsair Gaming. Don't know anything about those. Oh, wireless headset for the headset. Okay. All right, 1 minute to go. Let's switch over to our Think Pipes. Again, LVS is our primary on the left middle pane here, so we'll take a look at that. Tesla, we'll watch the open, and then we will switch to Candy from there. And what was our last name? CRSR. So we'll see if we can get an entry on either of those, and we've got a couple of shorts to take a look at. All right, 30 seconds to the market open. Welcome to the on-time, on-target play of the day. You see 4 screens in front of you. On our left, we have the 1 minute of the SPY. The futures have been kind of trending up, but we're about even as the market goes into the open here. LVS beat earnings. They're up over 5%, so we like them long. T also beat earnings or lost less, only a penny. So we're looking at T long, and then Tesla's up almost 5% based off of earnings as well. So 3 longs in front of you. You have to listen carefully today because I'm going to be switching around on that right-hand screen to find exactly what I want. So, all right, let's zoom in here. That was the opening bell in case you missed it over my talking. So we'll kind of watch and see what Las Vegas does. They're at 7%. Market screaming higher. That's good. T's fallen out of the 5% and higher club, so we'll probably be switching out of that. And then here's Tesla. So we'll just let Tesla cook over here. So AT&T, let's take a look at that Candy technology. So I don't look what I'm seeing out of T, K, and it does too exist. I just have to spell it right. So KNDY, KNDI. That is not right. What is this? KNDI. Yes, KNDI. That is correct. So it's not moving. So pretty low volume there. It does have 220,000 shares going on. It's down at 4%, so we don't like that. All right. We would need to see Las Vegas kind of settle here for a second before we take that higher. All right, CRSR is Corsair Gaming. CRSR, again, this is a long looking in the middle pane here. It's fallen out of our zone, so not really behind that as well. All right, Tesla, we're watching. We're not touching it. Let's take a look at our couple of shorts here. KMB. Ooh. Well, I like the volume, or I like the chart on this as far as a short. I'm going to leave that there and take a look at it. Tesla's fun to watch, but we're not hopping in it, so we can kill that out. Peloton. See if it's falling. It's not. People are buying into it, so not much going on there. Oof. Kind of want to hop in on this Kimberly-Clark. We're going to let it go for just a second. Check out Chipotle short here, CMG, down at 6%. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to check the headline real quick on another screen, CMG. It's got the volume now. Chipotle gapping down, yep. Falls on profit drop, analyst downgrade. Oh, that's right. It's a $1,300 price point, so it's kind of tough there. I would rather have seen Las Vegas Sands come in, so I don't really like that. I'm going to take a look at the other screen here. So what we have going on, T, cycle back to T on this right-hand screen. This is the pattern. You see it set up for a drop is when you see that, I forget there's an official name for this, where you see the move up, and then that's where people take that short, but we're not going to take that short. All right, I don't know if Las Vegas Sands can go higher that much. It'd be a 50-cent stop. So if we got into it at 40, if we waited till new high, that would be 49.30. I just don't think it has that much room to run. KMB short is working. I'm not in it. Don't like the way T's setting up. Let's go back to Tesla. Yep. See, if you got all fired up about Tesla and that initial move up, look at that reset there. Gosh, that's a $10 a share, not quite $8 a share move. So, all right, we're 4 minutes in. I don't like really the way anything is set up. Market's starting to show that it's going to roll over a little bit. Same pattern here, so you expect the next move to be down. That would favor a short. KMB, not a big fan of shorting it here. What else do we have? Peloton, no, we're not going to short. There's some other low volume names we'll check out. Let's see, ARGX, short. That didn't work at all. It's backed up almost to even. CHU, China Telecom, minus 10% already, and not enough volume to be able to get into trade that. And CLAR, I forget what they are, down 14% already. So it already made the move right here. Pre-market went down from 13, a few minutes prior to the open, all the way down to 14. So gap down out of the way. Kimberly-Clark, too late to enter this trade, so we just got to sit and watch it. Don't like LVS long. I don't think there's enough room there. Where is our biotech ALLK long? Let's see what this has. ALLK. No volume on the one biotech name that I had for you. All right, SNA, I forget what Snap-on Tools maybe had no volume this morning. So again, it's just basically it gapped up, but it's not moving. So, all right, not a lot of movement. I'm going to give up on trying to find us a trade at this point. So 6 minutes in, gave it a shot. So no movement on the trades today. I mean, VXX long, I don't see that happening. Overall, the market's, 0.25% up. So not a lot in motion here. So let's take a look, switching back to long-term investing, take a look at what else is on the move. All right, we talked about AT&T up 5% or so. There's our Tesla. Again, we want that gapping at 5% and moving higher. Neither of those have the staying power. Callaway Golf's up nice. That's nice. Plantier getting a little bit of love. Let's take a look at that chart. Remember, $10 was the price that everybody got on the initial share direct listing. And it's been trying to get back there. So it battled back last week to $9.98. Sold off on Friday and then been kind of straight down. I did buy some more. It wasn't here. It was in here. Bought some more of this for some folks. So if you see a few more shares flowing in, then that's what's going on there. DraftKings is another name that we've been following. The share price, they're coming up on their cliff as far as the 6 months. People can now the lockout period's expiring, so that's why you see a lot more shares on the market being sold. So even though it's up $1 or it's up 1% today, I'm not worried about DraftKings. I'm not selling here. We can just hold until the next move up. All right, so lots of names a little bit in the green here. Let's take a look on the red side. Oh, Luckin down 11%. You Luckin, that's not good. All right, 11% from 455 down to 417, 413 low of the day. That's pretty. If you're bored to tears and want to take a trade here, take Luckin long at 420 with a 10-cent stop, and so it would have to be low of the day. So I'm not taking this trade, but if you are desperate to hit some keys and get some money into play, again, Luckin here, set your stop below the low of the day. I think the low's in down here at 413. We've seen Luckin make these big moves down and then basically climb up the rest of the day. So anyhow, trade if you want it. I'm not going to do it because I have other things to do today. All right, Northwest Bio, not worried, selling off a little bit. Gold selling off. All right, so that's kind of what I've got for you in the morning. We'll come back and take a look at the trading screen. Throw that up there again. Market just kind of doing nothing here after it moved up basically 0.25%. So, all right, let's go down to Elon Musk and his other companies is the what I have for you as far as the topic of the day. So, out there, he's also got the, so we're down on the internet, basically. This is the Boring Company. If you haven't seen this video, we talked about this about a month ago. Again, on the right is the guy that gets into the tunnel. He's going to work. So there's your private tunnel, I guess runs from your house to your job. So that's pretty expensive, but it's kind of like a subway. There's going to be on ramps and off ramps, sort of thing is the belief. So when you think of this, it's the whole idea behind the Boring Company is obviously on the left, you see traffic, and the point is, Elon Musk's point is, okay, we've got a 2D traffic problem on the surface of the planet. So there's two options. You can go up into the flying cars option, which there's a whole bunch of problems there, right? Because when does aviation start? When do flying cars stop? Do you meld the two? Coming from that background, that's a nightmare. It's far easier to drop below the surface because you don't have the deconfliction issues. It's just really expensive to bore a hole in the company or in the under the earth, and then where do you put it? So anyhow, here's this guy. He arrived at work, so he's going to sit there and look at his watch annoyingly and kill time while waiting for the go get a bench. This is Elon Musk 101 type of thing. Oh, I'm so bored, I can't believe my buddy's not here yet. Anyhow, so kind of a cute thing. So you can't invest in the Boring Company directly, so it's not a public company, but it is an Elon Musk initiative. All right, other one you may heard of is SpaceX, and they have all kinds of great videos here. So the Starlink mission that they have, they're putting however many thousand satellites up for their own kind of deal. So if you are into space stuff, which I used to be as a kid, I've kind of left it behind. You can watch all these replays and live, and it's kind of a cool website if you like the space, or if you're a dreamer and you're young and you think, okay, we're going to colonize Mars, then pay attention to this stuff, because if there's one guy that's going to take you to Mars, it's going to be Elon Musk. Period. Dot. One of his famous lines is, he hopes to die on Mars, just not on impact, which I love that line. That's pretty cool. So that's the Starlink again, SpaceX, which has all of these different cool videos if you want to watch. All right, last one we'll talk about is Neuralink, and this is one I think honestly has the most staying power of all of these ideas, is because I do, and I've thought this since I was a kid, well before I was a fighter pilot. I played a game as a kid where they had it's a futuristic role-playing kind of thing, and they had these folks called riggers, which were pilots, but the pilots actually plugged into their vehicles. So you had a port put into your brain. Again, it's futuristic. This is 30 years ago, where if you're a rigger, you are basically an operator, right? So you hop into any vehicle, you grab the plug for that vehicle, plug it into your brain, and you are off and running. You immediately know how to fly it with just thinking about what you want the vehicle to do. The interface figures it out and makes it happen. Are we there yet? No. Or do we? But literally, I said this throughout my military career. If they were going to take a handful of people, 5 people, and put ports in their brain, I would have done this in a heartbeat. Probably a little too old to do it now, but I certainly would have taken all the risks that goes with it, because I love this stuff. And I do think that the direct brain to machine interface is coming. Okay, self-driving cars, not really what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about actually becoming one with the vehicle. So that's where this is going. A lot of brain power, if you will. See the pun there. Trying to figure this out, along with the applications of such. So it's I think it's the future, and I think it will happen at some point in time. So there's somebody thinking about the words, and they're actually probably going to get typed on the screen. Pretty impressive stuff. So, all right, that's what I have for your day. Sorry we didn't get you a trade, just didn't like any of the setups, and that happens sometimes. With that, I'll let you go, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning. You guys have a good one.